freshmen, and that's their first NCAA action. How do you think they fared overall?
Well, good. I think, that was a hard-fought 3-2 win. It was a team that made the tournament last year. It's a team that when they were trailing after one period came out and threw everything at us. So let's give them credit for getting back in the game. Let's give us credit for being able to fight them off. So big factors in the game for sure. Kyle Hayton thought he played really well in his first game. And obviously Linus had a big impact with his 2 goals. So there are a lot of good things for the first game of the year. You're always wondering, with the first game jitters on how things are going to turn out. And I think all in all, you want to battle and find a way to get a win and work from what you can learn from the first game. So there's some things for sure we got to get better at. We made a sloppy change there in the second that allowed them to get back in the game. But we had some great blocks. We had some guys throw their body out on the line and make some big plays for us defensively. And and again, we played a pretty darn good team. And I think they're gonna have a very good season moving forward. So we got to put this one behind us. We got a little bit of a short week this week to get ready for Ohio State. So we'll be back on the ice tomorrow, working on some things that we can improve on and get ready for them.
You happy to get a test right out of the gate? I mean, that they came after you pretty hard in the third period, and really after the first, and you guys responded. You got some, like you're saying, you got some blocks. That's got to be a good thing for you to see.
Absolutely. I think everybody that hasn't seen Tech for a while was thinking about it. We're not sure how good they'll be, but they had some great workers for sure. I think they were well coached on their game plan of how aggressive they were, especially on the boards, and how aggressive their D were defensively. I thought our support to try to beat that aggressive play was good at times, but last year I think we were way more consistent at. So it's something that we'll certainly show in film tomorrow to try to show the difference between when we use our speed away from the puck and when we're a little bit slow getting there. I think we could have created a lot more chances that way. But, pretty solid game. It really was. I thought it was hard fought. It wasn't probably, I told the players that it wasn't the Picasso that everybody would like, but it is a hard fought win that we will certainly take and look forward to getting ready. And, Big Ten play starts next week. So we got a big week of practice to get ready, and I did like a lot of things that happened in that game.
The Johnson, Malone, and Zimmer line, Will Johnson getting the goal and the assist, that line just on the forecheck, they looked like they were really all over the ice. What did you see there tonight from that?
Yeah, that was a big goal. That should be a big line for us. I think the 3 lines with Malone's line, along with Frederick's line and Hughes's line, they should be able to create chances consistently throughout the year. I think all of them have a lot of dynamic offensive players on that line, on their lines. So we'll look for a lot of that. I thought Lebowski played well with Baker and Ford there at times. They had a few really good shifts as well. So I think we're pretty deep offensively. I think finding the right combinations. We're not going to stick with the same lines all year. Like last year, we made a lot of different adjustments as the year went along. We'll probably do the same thing, maybe even this week.
Coach, impressions of Linus Wiesbach. He obviously looked great tonight. It's a freshman forward out of Sweden.
Well, if that's the first time you've seen him play, that's something that we've seen, since we started recruiting him last year. His breakaway speed, his quick hands. Certainly a competitor for a little guy, and what a great start for him. And obviously 2 huge goals, 2 goals that probably not many players can make those plays that he did. So he'll be an exciting player for us. He's got great speed, and what a great start for him. And I thought he did, even defensively, I thought he played really well. So big night for him.
2 things on his second goal. The pass from Malone looked like it couldn't have been in a better spot for him to shoot, and 2, that he shot back towards where the goalie was coming from. Is that kind of that higher level thinking that he might have? That
and 3, how he positioned himself to turn to make the passing lane available was pretty impressive. So Shea did a great job of slowing it down. Or was it Shea or Wags made that pass? Wags, yeah. Wags made that play. And Wags is one of the players that you think, because he's so gritty and hard-nosed and such a hard player to play against, you forget some of the offensive instincts that he has. But he slowed that play down, allowed that defenseman to slide, and made a great saucer pass right in the wheelhouse for him. But I thought Linus really positioned himself well, made it hard for the goalie. And like you said, he did. He shot it back from him. So when the goalie's sliding that way, it's real hard to recover the weak side of the net. And it was a great goal.
Coach, Kyle Hayton in goal tonight. Something you haven't had in a long time. Senior goaltender, obviously played very well in his first start here from Wisconsin.
Great. I'm sure he'll want to take that second one back. But quick, he made a couple big saves in the first period on screenshots that he found a way to find. Great competitor, and we've seen it, through the month of practice. So it was nice to get him in a game and see him out there. I know he's been waiting a long time for this night. So great performance by him.
Of the defensemen or of the freshmen, you started 3 freshman defensemen and paired each one with an upperclassman. Do you think those pairings are something you might stick with throughout the season and in the coming weeks?
Yeah, no, we'll make a lot of changes. Oz will be working with the D as far as trying to figure out which combinations work best. But I think that really is great for a freshman to have the experience alongside him that those other three guys supply for him. I thought some of the freshmen D did a really good job. They're playing the way that we want them to play. There's a little bit of an adjustment because it's probably different from where they're coming from. But Kalnick had one big block on the PK. I thought he closed his gap really well, skated really well, made some good plays on the power play. S played very solid back there as well. And Tyler, you can see how aggressive Tyler is and how physical he wants to be. So I think all of them are different on how they play, but they'll all be big contributors to our team moving forward.
Coach, it seemed like at points last year, some of your defensive struggles would come from leaving guys open in the middle of the ice. It seemed like more today, your defensemen and forwards were coming back through the middle into the defensive zone and not giving up kind of those open looks in front of the net. Did you see that? How did you think your defensive zone fared today in terms of positioning?
Well, when looking back on last year, it's hard to compare what we did last year. Obviously, I think our depth at the back end is deeper this year. So hopefully we're a little bit more responsible and continue to grow as a team defensively, because I don't want to just say the defenseman, but as a team you got to play better defensive hockey to win. And last year I thought our defense and our defensive play improved as the year went along. So tonight it was a good start. We gave up 2 goals. We gave up 22 shots, which isn't bad against a team that fell behind early and battled and really tried to throw everything at us. So I think it's a good point by you that we didn't leave many open players in D zone coverage is a good thing, and I think that we did a pretty good job that way as well.
Was their first goal a miscommunication between a couple guys?
Bad change. We just had a bad change.
Okay.
Yeah, we got caught, and they made a heck of a play turning it up the ice and recognizing it. We had a D change, and we couldn't get it back on the ice to recover. So, sloppy on our part for sure. A nice play by them.
Overall, your penalty kill, though, they got a couple of goals, but there were some good moments too. How do you overall kind of grade out what it looked like?
Yeah, we'll look at more of it tomorrow in film. There's certainly areas that we haven't been able to practice a lot with only 2 hours per week. That's one of them. You'd love to get, you'd love to practice your power play and penalty kill every day. With that schedule, it was we just had the last couple of days we were able to do it. So we don't have pairs that we've been able to get a lot of reps in. So that'll be something that we'll work on this week. But I don't think it was bad. I thought there was a lot of things we did really well. We just they made a nice play on the face-off win. We pressured it hard, almost picked up a loose puck and ended up making a play. And I think that's the one Kyle said, he should have had that one.
Yeah. So obviously first games can be somewhat experimental. You're trying out new lines and you never truly know how it goes. But, next weekend you've got Ohio State, a big Big Ten game, and it's, the season's kind of in full swing by game 2. How do you get, mentally prepared for that?
That experimental thing I tried last year, and I realized when we missed by .04 to make the NCAA tournament that there's no such thing as experimental games. Like, these are games we have to win. And then that was our approach, especially after the second period. It was, boys, we got to bear down. They don't get anything this period because, these are meaningful games from the standpoint all the way to the end of the season. It goes into your ranking. So I think, the practice is where we'll screw around as far as trying to mix up lines and find some combinations with it. But like last year, we used a lot of different line combinations. Like I said, we'll see some different ones. Whether or not we play with the same ones next week, I don't know yet. But we'll. Those nine forwards up front, again, were all big parts of our team. And then you add the two players, the freshmen that were in the top 9, and Doogie and Linus, and those are two pretty explosive offensive players as well. So we'll mix them up a little bit at some point.